Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today is the day Infinity Ward has given us their post-beta recap. They're going to be talking about things that are going to be changing going from weekend 2 of the beta up to the full launch. They put out an official blog post. I've not yet read this. We're going to experience this together, though there's a bunch of text here, and it's pretty boring for you guys to sit there and just be reading text the entire time with me, so I'm going to be splicing in some gameplay as we go through here. So let's go ahead and hear what Infinity Ward has to say about all of our feedback, which there was a ton of during weekend 2. So firstly, thank you to everyone who played the Modern Warfare 2 beta the last 2 weeks. We have loved seeing all of you playing our game and creating amazing moments. If you haven't already, please share them with us on social media and we might reshare some of our favorites. All right. As we head into launch, we are going to be making some adjustments based on learnings from the beta. All right, here we go. One of the most important parts of the beta is having you, the players, find new bugs and issues for us. We are grateful to the community for coming together to help us fine-tune this game, and we can't wait to show you even more. Well, how much is there, man? You wrote like 4 sentences. There's like not even a whole lot to this blog post. But continuing on here, while we are working hard on a ton of content for you to play at launch and beyond, here are a few things that we wanted to highlight. While sentiment around footstep audio was more positive in weekend 2, I don't know about that, we have seen your continued feedback on the volume of footsteps and will continue to balance enemy and friendly footstep audio ahead of launch. That's it. That's all they said about footstep audio. They didn't mention dead silence, nothing like that. They're like, it was better in weekend 2. Believe us, it was better, even though it didn't really seem that way. And we're going to keep on making adjustments, and chances are it's going to be basically the same at launch, is what I feel like they're saying right here, but we're going to have to wait and see. Moving along here, enemy visibility is something that came up throughout both weekends of our beta. While many of you remarked on the improvement in weekend 2, it was a little bit better. We'll look to tweak increased enemy visibility to allow for better visual tracking of opponents that is not solely the traditional nameplate. What? So they're doubling down that enemies should not have nameplates. People are saying, and this is so funny because people are getting roasted for not remembering how things actually worked. They're saying back in the day, we didn't have nameplates in Call of Duty. Who needs them? COD 4 had nameplates. Modern Warfare 2 had nameplates. Modern Warfare 2's nameplates were so prevalent that it was a part of Cold-Blooded Pro to make it so your nameplate didn't show up, for crying out loud. Now it's built into like the core game, and they just don't want to have traditional nameplates there. They want to make it confusing for some reason. All you get for your teammates is a little blue dot, a green dot if they're in your party, and then enemy players don't have anything. It's really hard to tell when there's a bunch of chaos going on who is who. So why not just add traditional nameplates? You look at a game like Black Ops 4, that game not only had nameplates, but there were like straight up like health bars above people's heads as you were shooting at them, and it worked out just fine. I understand they want to go for more of a realistic approach to COD with Modern Warfare 2. For some reason, Infinity Ward kind of totes themselves as like the realistic developer. But dude, we're talking about like a video game here. We make it so visibility and like player control is actually what's most important in the game, as compared to trying to make it seem like it's uber realistic. It's Call of Duty at the end of the day. There's nothing realistic about this franchise. But regardless, they are against the idea of the traditional nameplate, and they're going to be trying to make it so visibility is better going into the launch. So kind of like with footsteps here, it sounds like we heard your feedback, but fuck off. We know what we're doing. That seems like what they're saying. Going on here, disbanding lobbies are another topic we addressed during the beta. We feel this is an important feature and are actively looking for potential solutions at launch. So that right there is very interesting to me. I saw a video from Prestigious Key about this. The idea of disbanding lobbies, that is like skill-based matchmaking 101. You do okay, or engagement optimized matchmaking, whatever you want to call it. If you do well in the match, the lobby ends, you get thrown into a new game, and typically that game is going to be people that are kind of like on the same like level as you based on what you did in your previous couple of matches. It's skill-based matchmaking 101. So if they get rid of the idea of these disbanding lobbies and you can actually form a connection with the other people that you're playing the game with, that would be fantastic. Not only would it bring back that old school Call of Duty feel where, for example, you're playing Search and Destroy, or even you're going back and playing Team Deathmatch, and you realize there's this guy on the other team that for some reason always has like a 3 KD, and you want to like hunt that person down and see what they're doing. Maybe they're being annoying, maybe they're camping, maybe they're being a sentinel or whatever, and you want to make it your mission to take that guy out. You can do that. You can develop like these little pair of relationships, I suppose, with the other people in the lobby, because you can adjust yourself based on how that lobby is playing. Who remembers that back in Modern Warfare 2, man? You'd get into like a super easy lobby and you're like, wow, this lobby is really fun. I could go for my chopper gunners, or I could try to make this a kind of like time where I can level up some of my guns that are pretty shitty because I have less competition in this lobby. Or if it's a really sweaty lobby, you can adjust adjust your playstyle that way, or heaven forbid, you could talk to the other people in the game and develop relationships and even make some goddamn friends. Remember when COD used to be like that? Like, all my online friends I met playing Call of Duty, and nowadays there's no sense. There just isn't. You know, you get into a game of Search to Destroy, you're playing, and you realize there's like 2 or 3 people in that lobby that are also doing pretty good, and after a couple matches you think to yourself, you know what, I've been talking to you for a couple of games here. Do you guys want to back out and party up? We could probably go on a pretty good win streak together. And you do that, and what you know, you became friends, right? You don't have that in current COD anymore. So Disbanding Lobbies, if they're going to be like changing that in some capacity, that would be fantastic. They say right in the blog post, we feel this is an important feature. No, it's not. You only feel that because of skill-based matchmaking. Go fuck yourself. Get rid of Disbanding Lobbies and things would be awesome. But continuing on here, in terms of weapons, we are very happy with the results of weapon tuning changes we made for weekend 2 of the beta. We have more changes to come given weapon performance in the beta, and we are very excited for everyone to get their hands on all of the weapons in Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, that's fine, honestly. Like, weapon balance seemed okay. In reality, all we could really use was like the M4 platform with like the M4 variants. Then you could use like the 74U with like no attachments. You could use a SCAR for a little bit. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of weapon variety during the beta, to be perfectly honest, but weapon balance felt fine. I didn't feel like while I was playing, you know, that like one gun was like so ridiculously good. I will say the M16 sucked balls and it was not fun to play with, but hopefully we're going to get some more changes, and hopefully once we have access to all the attachments and things like that, that weapon balance will be better going forward. And continuing on, we were excited to see so much interest in our third-person playlist. We have heard feedback on the camera shoulder swapping. That was weird, and we will continue to make refinements to this mode for launch. More to come. Ground War and Invasion are also getting a lot of love for players in the beta. Yeah, because 6v6 sucks, you assholes. Thanks to our diligent fans, we have many bugs to work through in both of our battle map modes. We have some improvements coming for AI navigation for Invasion. We are still processing beta feedback and data, and we will continue to share details on the road to launch. Look for future updates from hashtag Team RicoChat on what is being done to combat cheating in the coming weeks. Modern Warfare 2 will release blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's the entire blog post, man. And I will say there's a caveat here. They say that they're still processing their beta data and feedback, and they're going to be sharing more details with us as we get closer to launch. The full game launches on October 28th, so we have basically 1 month. They have like 30 days here to get this right, you know what I mean? But that being said, they didn't really say shit in this blog post. Like, this is supposed to be like the big blog post, like, all right, both weekends of the beta are done, we've heard you loud and clear, and we're not really going to be doing anything. The only thing they really talked about here was like disbanding lobbies. That was it. If you really go back and look through this, like, yeah, they're going to change camera shoulder swapping and make it feel more refined, I suppose, for third-person game modes. And they're going to be working on some bugs that people found in Ground War. Other than that, they didn't say shit. They really didn't say a goddamn thing in this blog post. And I'm saying this like I'm trying to like look at it lightheartedly, because what else can we do? Like, we've given them so much feedback. We have made memes upon memes. We've actually given detailed Reddit threads. They have these official threads on the Modern Warfare 2 subreddit where apparently like the official Infinity Ward people are going through and taking that feedback. They see it on Twitter. They see it on Facebook. They see it on MySpace. They see it everywhere, dude. But they're just not giving a shit. They're like, look, this is our vision, and you guys are just gonna, it's their way or the highway, I suppose. Like, just suck it up, deal with it. You know, this is the game that we created. This is our vision. And again, the same thing that we talked about yesterday. You know, we hear your feedback, but we don't give a shit. Is pretty much what they're saying here, man. Oh, man. Modern Warfare 2. There's potential with this game. There really is. But right now, the biggest thing is just the sheer lack of understanding feedback coming from Infinity Ward and the inability to adapt. Ironically enough, if you think about it, going back to Modern Warfare 2019, all the Infinity Ward fanboys, all the COD fanboys, right? Just adapt, bro. Get your 725 and your claymores out. Just adapt. Well, now we're in a situation where the player base is just like, dude, I'm tired of adapting. Can we play COD again? And the developer is like, dude, just adapt. Just adapt, man. You guys like it. We're telling you, you like those footsteps. You think you don't like them, but you do. They're fantastic. It feels real good. They're talking about finding a way around having traditional nameplates in the game. It's like, what is wrong with traditional nameplates? It goes back to the video I made yesterday, man. They just love fixing things that aren't broken. The nameplates, footstep audio, dead silence as a perk, the mini map, perks as a whole, gunsmith, Everything. They're just changing everything for the sake of changing it. I did see some feedback saying, well, Nero, do you just want to play the same COD every single year? It's like, no. I want them to innovate. I want them to try new things, sure. But I want COD to still have the same core foundation that COD has. To make a sports reference, you guys know I'm a big football fan. You know, it's like going from the NFL to the Arena Football League here. It's like, oh yeah, it's still football at its core. We just changed up a bunch of things about it to make it not really American football anymore. It's completely different. It's got the same like idea, but it's much different. You know what I mean? That metaphor or whatever is probably lost on some of you, but you guys get what I'm saying here. I want COD to feel like COD. I want the perk system to be kind of streamlined. I want weapon balancing to be good. I want footstep audio to be quieter. I want dead silence to be a perk. I want the mini-map to be the same goddamn mini-map that we've had for over 15 years. Like, how is it hard just to have that? And then add new features on top of that. Back in the day, they would innovate with these new ideas, and it worked out. It was cool stuff. Advanced Warfare, for example. I didn't like the exosuits, but the customizable kill streaks, that was fantastic. You had basically a pick 14 system in Advanced Warfare, if I recall correctly. Maybe it's pick 13. You could remove kill streaks from your class to have even more perks, have even more attachments. That was a cool feature. Map evolution, dynamic updates to the maps themselves. Those were all cool features. Those were really interesting. There are ways to innovate upon COD while still making it feel like COD without removing core features like your movement and your awareness based on the minimap and things like that. Like, it's so easy. But Infinity Ward, nothing's easy for Infinity Ward. They just have to reinvent the wheel, man. I don't get it. And so, like I said, at the end of the blog post, they said they're going to be giving us more details on the road to launch, and there's going to be future updates for Team Ricochet about cheating in the game and things like that. So we're going to have to wait and see, dude. We're going to have to wait and see how it's going to play out. But yeah, we're 1 month away now. 1 month, 30 days. Infinity Ward. The clock is ticking. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and I hope you guys all, that was a lot of words, have a wonderful day.